Hi, you guys, welcome back to my channel. Ifoma Ookoli here again, and I know it has been a while. I know it has been a very long time since I took a break, you guys, and wow, it's good to be back. It is so good to be back, and yeah, today there's a vlog, okay, but then it's not going to be in my usual style of vlogs. I'm going to show you guys what we've been up to, with the kids while they've been on holidays, things to do around Abuja, just hanging out with the kids and everything. It's been quite a while, quite a minute, doing a lot of good stuff, might I add. Anyway. So yeah, today's vlog is going to be, I'm going to be showing you guys around Abuja what we did, like I've already said, and then I'm going to talk about something that is really important and close to my heart. While I've been out, a lot of things have occurred, and it's made me think, okay, deeply about how we live life, right? How intentional or unintentional we are, and how it affects our lives. Sometimes we just go through the motions and we're not really thinking about how things are affecting our lives. For instance, if somebody asked you, what is your manual for living? What manual do you live by? What manual does your family live by? Would you even know how to answer that question? Would you know how to answer that? So I started thinking of it. Basically, people have, intentional manuals, and many of us do not even have a manual at all. Neither do we even understand or know anything about a manual for living. And this is what I mean. For instance, let's say Christians live their lives, through the manual of the Bible. Muslims would live their lives through the manual of maybe the Quran, that sort of thing. That's what I mean by a manual. And then there are other things that form the manual for our lives without us even knowing, that it's becoming a manual, a pattern, a way that we live. And these things come from our environment. It comes from the experiences that we've had, but most importantly, it's from the influences of the media around us, the people we interact with, the things that we allow ourselves to be open to, maybe the music that we listen to, the books that we read, the places where we hang out, the people that we hang out with, the things that we watch on TV, and the things that we allow our children to watch on TV as well. So these are things that form the manual for our living. And I started thinking about this seriously, the other day when I found out, or I looked at the fact that my kids, they play this game, right? And sometimes I find that they become a little bit rude, or things that don't require them to snap or talk a certain way. You find them talking a certain way, and then I'm like, what brought this on? And then I kind of correlated it to, maybe what kind of shows maybe they are seeing on TV, or what kind of games they are playing. So intentionally, I started introducing more programming that that is more friendly. That, yes, they might be watching kid shows or cartoons or programs that are supposed to be meant for kids. But then again, what is the value in those shows? So, I find that as a parent, I need to even look at what my kids are, what kind of songs they are listening to, what kind of programs they are taking in, because I see that it's beginning to form their outlook on life and the way that they actually now behave eventually. You see? So this is what got me thinking about the manual for living. So you as an adult, what manual do you live by? What songs do you expose yourself to? What philosophies do you expose yourself to? What do you allow yourself to be shaped by? For me as a Christian, I know that is so important, for us Christians. And for me, of course, I subscribe to my main manual being the Bible, from the way, that's my main manual. The way that I live, my philosophy comes from the Bible, and then comes from a spirit that is called the Holy Spirit. As a Christian, we have the Holy Spirit as a guide. When you don't know what to do, when you kind of are lost, and sometimes we find ourselves lost in this life, like sometimes you get to this juncture in life where you don't know where to turn. See, that's when the Holy Spirit comes in and he can help us with that, So, I live by the Bible and by the Holy Spirit, and in general, I also form, of course, my philosophies from also the things that are around me, even unknowingly. So that is why I'm also careful about the kind of shows that I watch or the kinds of places that I go to or people that I interact with, because your interactions, who you interact with, you eventually become more and more and more and more and more like the places you go, like the people you talk to, like the programs that you watch, that like the songs that you sing or that you listen to. Yes. That being said, it's so important to be intentional. It's so important to be very intentional with our exposure and with the exposure of our children. We can influence the exposure of our children too as parents in very wise ways, because you cannot force them to do things, because if you force them, at the end of the day they will go back to those things like behind your back. So you kind of have to teach them. You must teach them, okay, why is this good for you? Why is this not good for you? Why is this kind of program? Talk to me. What do you think about this kind of program? And is this the kind of person that you want to be? This violent rap song, is that what you want to aspire to? Is that who you want to be? Do you want to shoot up somebody? Is that who you want to be? Or just introduce programming to them that, hey, why don't you try this other thing, and why don't you try this other program or try this other game? Let's see what are the values that you want to aspire to. Who are the kinds of people you want to look up to? These are, now role models for your children. That's what I'm now talking about. So we have to kind of guide them with, by teaching them about what they expose themselves to, and how that can influence their lives positively or negatively, how that can make their lives go either have an upward turn or a downward turn. So if you want your life to go positively well and successful, why not listen to positive and successful people? So they have all that programming on YouTube, on TV shows, anything. You just have to. I've just noticed as parents we have to be intentional, and for ourselves as human beings we really need to be intentional. And yes, it's really quite the job to be a parent, and it's really quite something to be living in this day and age where any kind of information is easily accessible, just like in a flash. People can just type something on the internet, children, anyone can type things on the internet and you are there. Voila, just like that, you're there, watching whatever it is that you're looking up. So it is so important. And then this is where when people get it wrong, they can now develop addictions on the internet, watching things shouldn't be watching and all that stuff. This is why you've got to guard your eyes, guard the ears, guard what's coming in, what's coming through, so that they don't end, people don't end up falling into and becoming addicted to masturbation, porn, and other debilitating addictions, because these addictions kind of, they suck the life out of people. It sucks the life out of a person who is addicted. It doesn't allow for growth. It doesn't allow for positive advancement. You see people who are addicted, they become like zombies. It's sucking the life out of their life, basically. So it's bad for students, it's bad for anybody to be addicted. So we must be careful. We must be very careful in this day and age. I know I've rambled on and on and on, but this is so important, guys. It is so important, really, to be careful about our programming, about our manual for life. We must be intentional, and we must aggressively guard ourselves against being programmed wrongly. So it's so important. It is so important. Well, I am hoping that you guys have been enjoying our outing so far. So in this video, it shows where we went to with the kids, and it was so exciting. It's good to tour the city you live in, find fun and interesting things to do. That's something else that we can do outside of being in the house and being cooped up in front of the tabs or laptops or TV screens. So that's what we did. We toured our city to find something fun, to find fun places to be, and to just hang out and bond as a family. Thank you for coming through, for enjoying this vlog. Well, semi-talk discussion vlog, okay? Whatever you want to call it, but thank you for hanging out. And yes, watch that programming, guys. Watch it. And all the best and love to you all. God bless you. And please share, subscribe, like, okay, so that YouTube can get this out to more people, to get this to more eyes and more ears, okay? All right, you guys, thank you, and hopefully I should be back here soon with another vlog, okay? I'm not going to be a stranger, guys. Okay, all right, God bless you all. Bye-bye. Beautiful. No littering. We do not litter.